Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Kieliszewski, forensic psychologist. I'm sure many of you are familiar with, or maybe you even followed, the Ethan Crumbley murder case. In November 2021, Ethan Crumbley, then age 15, murdered 4 students and injured 7 other people at his high school in Michigan. He was recently sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Just yesterday, Jennifer Crumbley, Ethan Crumbley's mother, was convicted by jury trial of involuntary manslaughter as a result of the shooting. She is the first person ever convicted of a crime as a result of a mass shooting carried out by one's child. Now, in the case, prosecutors argued Jennifer Crumbley was negligent by allowing her son access to a gun, knowing he had mental health problems, and also by ignoring her son's mental health problems. Today, I was interviewed by a college student named Lauren for a project in one of her classes. And she asked me the question, so what does this mean in regards to the responsibility that people may have in a situation where they have a mentally ill child, and if that child commits a violent act? Great question. Now, in some of the news coverage, there is this idea presented on whether or not Ethan Crumbley's parents could have been able to foresee that he could possibly be violent and that they did nothing about it. But that question is really not at the heart of this conviction. In order to be found negligent, which is necessary for manslaughter, from a legal perspective, the law presents the test of what would a reasonable person do in these circumstances. Now, case law has defined a reasonable person as what an ordinary or average person would do in the same circumstances. Now, if you meet that threshold of what a reasonable person would do, or if you go above that threshold, you're not negligent. In the Crumbley case, the arguments revolved around several questions. One question was, would a reasonable person buy their child a handgun when he has mental health problems? Another question is, would a reasonable person allow such easy access in the home to a gun when they have a child with mental health problems? Would a reasonable person locked up that gun in those particular circumstances? Another question is, would a reasonable person put their child in mental health care based on what Ethan had said or done prior to the shooting? There was evidence presented that Ethan asked his parents to get involved in mental health treatment and that he was having hallucinations. I read an article where a law professor who disagreed with the verdict argued that the Crumbley parents are really just being scapegoated for the actions of their son. And there are also some criticisms that the school was actually the negligent party here, and that people would rather convict the parents rather than the school having to take responsibility. So to answer Lauren's question, and if more of these types of cases pop up, the question will be, did these parents act like a reasonable person or a reasonable parent, an average parent, would act in a similar situation? And by not acting that way, did that result in the crime occurring? Now, what are your thoughts? Please be respectful and comment in the comment section down here. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're interested in forensic psychology or true crime, follow me here. Also, check out my YouTube channel where I have several videos on various topics in forensic psychology. All my social media is under Dr. Jeff Kieliszewski, forensic psychologist. Thanks.